So good morning everyone. We are going to start here with another new topic, which is the abstract classes. This topic belongs to chapter number 8. So let's start with this chapter. Abstraction, the concept of abstraction we have already learned in our previous lecture. So abstraction is the concept of hiding the internal details of the functionality and providing simple representation for the same. So abstraction basically means hiding the unnecessary details from the user and just showing the necessary details to the user which are required for doing the work. For example, we use our mobile phone every day, for example making a call or downloading the apps or sending data or whatever, but we don't know how the functionalities are designed inside it so that we receive the calls and send the messages. So the basic thing a user requires, that he can store the contacts, he can receive the call, he can make the call. So that's what now how this operation is performed inside in the mobile phone is hidden from us. So the inner functionalities are designed in such a way that they are hidden from the user. Similarly, we drive a car and change the gears as and when it is required to go to high speed and come back to the low speed, but we don't know how the gearbox is working internally. When we switch on from the lower gear to the higher gear, how the speed changes, so we don't know how it is working internally. Similarly, in Java, we can write a method to perform some functionality inside a class, and we can expose it to outside world just by providing an option to call this method. Now, the method which we have created inside a class is hidden from the user. It is just providing the just we are calling the method from the outside world, and it will do the required function. So in this way we hide the internal implementation and abstract it inside a method. And there are many more methods which use the abstraction principle. So how the abstraction is used in Java, we are going to talk about it. We can achieve abstraction in Java using two ways. First way is by using the abstract classes, and second way is by using the interfaces. In this lecture, we are going to talk about how to achieve the abstraction by the first option, which is the abstract class. Interface also we will talk about, but later on, maybe in the next chapter. So let's start with the abstract classes. Now, what is an abstract class? There is a difference between a normal class that you make and an abstract class. So abstract class is a class in which one or more methods, there are one or more methods, but the methods do not have a body or the definition, but they are just declared. So in case of abstract class, you have declared the methods without their implementation. That means you just declare the return type, the name and the parameters of the method, but you are not going to provide any implementation details of the method inside the abstract class. So in abstract class we can declare one or more abstract methods. Abstract class in Java can be created by using the abstract keyword. So abstract keyword is used to create the abstract class in Java. If we make any class as abstract, it cannot be instantiated. Very important point. It cannot be instantiated means we cannot create the object. We cannot cannot create an object of the class, which means we will not be able to create the object of the abstract class. Inside the abstract class, we can declare any number of abstract methods as well as concrete methods. So there are two types of methods now, abstract methods and concrete methods. Concrete methods are just like the normal methods that you have been making until now and providing the implementation, whereas abstract methods are the methods which are declared with the abstract keyword, and they do not have the body or they do not have the implementation. So using abstract class we can achieve 0 to 100% abstraction. So abstract class is a type. It can have a variable whose type is an abstract class. It can have a parameter whose type is an abstract class. So now abstract classes and what are the we are going to talk about more on abstract classes. and the subclasses of the abstract classes. So now, if a class is abstract, first and important point is it cannot be used to create objects. They are mainly used as the parent classes. So abstract class, normally they are used for as a parent classes. Abstract class can have more than one abstract method. An abstract method is a method without a body which is not defined. Subclasses, now the child classes of the abstract classes. It is possible to instantiate a subclass that extends an abstract class. That means we can create an object of the subclass that extends an abstract class. A subclass of an abstract class must override all the abstract methods. So we have an abstract class and we have a child class or the subclass of it. This abstract class has abstract methods. Abstract methods are the methods which just have the method definition and no implementation. Now, when a class is derived from the abstract class, it must override all the abstract methods. If you skip to override any of the abstract method, you will get a compilation error. It is not mandatory to have any abstract method inside the abstract class. It is allowed in Java to declare a subclass of the abstract class also abstract. So, subclass of the abstract class can also be abstract. Alright, so let's go into detail how to write the syntax and how to write the abstract class and how to write the abstract method. An abstract class is always written with the keyword abstract. So, public abstract class shape. And then abstract class can have concrete methods, it can have abstract methods, it can have variables. So if you see over here, there are two abstract methods, get area, get perimeter, and the return type of the method is double. And if you see, we haven't provided any implementation of the method over here. So the method will end by just a semicolon. That means we have just provided the definition of the method. The implementation of the method will be provided in the subclass where it is used. And the abstract method, it has a keyword abstract also. Alright, so now let's check the subclass of this shape class. Public class circle extends shape. So abstract class is a parent class, shape is an abstract class and parent class. Now this has a static and final variable. Now if you see both the methods, circle is overriding both the methods get area, get perimeter. Now when you are overriding the methods in the subclass, remove this keyword abstract in the subclass. So you will just write, you can change the access modifiers, you can make it public. Public double get area, and inside the parameter can be anything. So it takes only one parameter of double type. It takes only one parameter of double type. So basically the thing is, it takes one parameter of double type, it takes one parameter of double type. So get area method, and we are passing one parameter of double type, and we are returning the area of the circle. Get perimeter method also takes one parameter over here, and we have provided one parameter of double type, and it is calculating the perimeter of the circle, which is 2 pi r. Now the main we have also one more class, which is square. It is also extending the abstract class. So we have overridden the method get area, get perimeter. We have passed one parameter inside the method, and area is side into side and perimeter is side into 4. So the meaning over here is, in the abstract class we just provide the definition of the method, but implementation can be defined in the subclass according to the user's requirement. So if you see over here, in the abstract class we have defined two parameters, get area, get perimeter. Now these two methods can be used to calculate the area of any shape, area of triangle, area of rectangle, area of trapezoid, area of trapezium, any shape. Similarly, perimeter of any shape, the method can be used to calculate the area of any shape. This is the idea behind the abstract classes. So moving ahead, class which is declared as an abstract is called as abstract class. Now, important point is it can have abstract methods and the non-abstract methods. Non-abstract methods are the concrete methods which we have created until now. It needs to be extended and its method implement. It cannot be instantiated. So we have a class, a phone, which is abstract, and it has two abstract methods, receive call and send message. Now any concrete class which extends the phone class will provide the method implementation of these two methods, receive call and the send message. This definition is actually internal details of how this functionality should be implemented. Anyone who needs to access this functionality has to call the method using the phone object pointing to its subclass. Alright, moving ahead. Now, a method that is declared as abstract and does not have implementation, no implementation is required, only signature of the method. So this is the abstract method. We need only the signature of the method. Abstract methods cannot be private. You cannot provide the methods over here as private, but other access modifiers are completely okay, public, protected and default. Concrete class, a class with no abstract method. So this is a concrete class. If you see, there are no abstract methods. Any concrete class which extends the above abstract class will provide the implementation to these abstract methods. So if you see, we have a class phone, we have two abstract methods, receive call and send message, and the class Samsung extends phone. So now it will provide implementation to both these methods, receive call and the send message. Alright, abstraction, anyone who needs to access this functionality, now main method has to be created and object of the child class will be made. So what is the child class? Samsung is the child class. So we will make a method using the phone object. If you see over here, phone Samsung is equals to new Samsung. So if you see over here, phone Samsung is equals to, so what we have done, we are doing over here the upcasting. So the child class is casted as a parent. Now object of the phone object pointing to its subclass. So now we can call both the methods, receive call and the send message, and we will get the output call received in Samsung, message sent in Samsung. Now Samsung has provided the concrete definition for the abstract methods and declared inside the phone abstract class. Going ahead, abstract constructor and data members. Now what other things we can have inside the abstract class? An abstract class can have fields, that means variables. It can have abstract methods. It can have concrete methods. It can have constructors, and even it can have main method. For example, if you see over here, we have an abstract class called vehicle. We have fields. We have a registration number, which is a field, and the type is string. We have a constructor. We have two abstract methods, and we have a concrete method also. So all these things can be defined. Now, most important point is, if any class has an abstract method, then the class must be declared as abstract. Non-abstract class cannot have an abstract method. What do I mean over here? For example, I have a class over here, Samsung. It is not an abstract class. But if I include any abstract method over here, the class has to be declared as an abstract class. So if any class has abstract method, the class must be declared as an abstract class. Alright, so moving ahead. So what we are doing over here now, we have an abstract class called vehicle, and we have two abstract methods, start and stop. Now we have a class two-wheeler which extends the vehicle class. So we have provided the implementation of the abstract methods which are start and stop over here in the child class. Now we have created the main method over here, and abstraction is done over here. We have created the object of the subclass. Now two-wheeler dot registration number, this field, this registration number belongs to the abstract class. We can refer, but we can assign any value to this. Start, stop and display. So start method will call the start method of the child class, two-wheeler class. Stop method of the two-wheeler class will be called, and display method of the vehicle class will be called. So how will the execution of this program will be? Vehicle two-wheeler is equals to new two-wheeler. So if you see over here, we have created a constructor over here also. So when we create this object, first of all, constructor of vehicle class will be referred over here, creating the vehicle. Then registration number has just been initialized. Start method is called. So start method, it will print two-wheeler start logic. Then stop method is called. It will print over here two-wheeler stop logic. And last one is display. What the display method is doing? It is just displaying the vehicle registration number, and it will take the value from here, whatever is the value in the registration number field, HR01Q2125. So it will print all this. So this is how we can make an abstract class, call its concrete methods and use its fields also. Now let's talk about rules for the abstract class. There are certain rules which we must remember when we are creating the abstract class. If a class has any one method declared as abstract, then the class must be defined as abstract. This is what I just told in one of the points before. So for example, let's talk about this program, class vehicle. Now this class has an abstract method. A non-abstract class cannot have an abstract method. So if there is any method declared as an abstract, now the class must also be declared as an abstract. So if you run this program, you will get a compilation error. It will fail during the compile time because the class is not declared as abstract. So the correct way is we must declare the class over here as abstract. So then it will be fine. Rule number 2, whenever we are extending any abstract class that has abstract method, we should either provide the implementation of the method or make this subclass also abstract. So now there are 2 points in rule 2. When we are making a child class of the abstract class, either we must provide the implementation of all the methods in the child class, or we can also make the child class also as an abstract class. So how will I make the child class as an abstract class? By providing any more abstract methods inside the abstract class. So I'm going to first of all talk about the first point. It should provide implementation of the method. So we have a class vehicle, we have abstract method start, and we have a concrete method. Now when we make a child class of the abstract class, it must provide the implementation of the method. So we have created a two-wheeler class from the abstract class vehicle. Now since the start method is abstract, so we are providing over here the implementation of the abstract method. Alright, now we will talk about the second point. We should make the subclass also as an abstract class. So we have the same program, abstract class vehicle. It has the abstract method start. Let's assume that we have created a two-wheeler class vehicle. Now instead of providing the implementation to the start method, we have provided another method as stop method. So this program will fail during the compilation time, as it is not providing the implementation to the abstract method, which is the stop method. So how to write it correctly? Now I can make this as a abstract class, and then I can write it as a public void stop. So it can be declared, the subclass can also be declared as a abstract class now. Moving ahead, we can never ever instantiate the abstract class, which means that we cannot create the object for the abstract class, and if you try to create an object for the abstract class, it will give you a compilation error. So for example, if you see here, we have abstract class, we have abstract method, and in the public static void main, if we try to create the object of the abstract class, it will give us the error. It will fail during the compile time. We cannot create an object like this, but we can do like this. If I go back over here, there my vehicle was a abstract class and two-wheeler was the child class, and I have created the reference variable, but I have not instantiated. It is the child class is upcasted as a parent class. So upcasting can be done, but I cannot create the object of the abstract class. So conclusion is, abstract class must be declared with abstract keyword. It can have abstract and non-abstract methods. It cannot be instantiated. It can have final methods. It can have constructors. It can have static methods. It can have variables. An abstract method is a method that has no body. It always ends with the semicolon. It must be overridden in the child class. So abstract class must be extended, and in same way abstract method must be overridden. A class has to be declared abstract to have abstract methods. So these are the key points and the rules which we must remember while creating an abstract class. So if you have any question and answers, all your questions will be answered in the live class. But before ending this, I will just give you a program for abstract classes. So let's just check how to create a simple program for this, for the abstract classes. Okay, so I have an example over here. I have person class, student class, and the password main. Alright, so let me just open all these three. Okay, so let's talk about these. So person class, any person a person will always have a password because it's the digital world. So a person will always have some or different kind of password. Alright, so we have declared a person class as abstract class. Then we have provided data member, which is the field name and string, and we have declared it as a private, and we have initialized it. Now it has two abstract methods, set password and get password. Set password takes one parameter, get password has a return type which is integer. Now since the field name is private, we must provide get name and set name method so that it can be accessed in the child class. So this is what we have done here. Now coming to the concrete class, student class extends person. Now when this class extends person, that means we have to provide the implementation of the two abstract methods which are set password and the get password in the student class. So here in the student class we have declared a variable password type integer and it's private. So we have provided the implementation for the set password and the get password method. Let me compile these programs because we will run it. Okay, now in the main class, let's check what we have done. In the main class, now we have included the class scanner because we want to take the name and the password from the user. So we have created an object of the student class. I can create the object like this, or even I can create the object like this also. Person P is equals to new student. This is also perfectly fine as shown in the slides. Alright, so now what we have done, we are just printing the name, because in the person class already the name has a value. So we are printing the value in the variable name name by using the get name method. Then we want the user to enter the new name, so that's why we have used the scanner class to enter the new name. So for taking the new name, we will call the method set name method from the person class, and then we are printing the new name. Now same thing is for the password. Since we do not have any password assigned in the beginning, so default type for the integer is 0. We are taking the new password from the user, and then we are calling the set password method and the get password method. So let's see how it works. A very simple program. So old name is Salim. See here, from the old name s.getName, it will fetch the old name, which is Salim. Enter new name, because we are taking the new name. Let's check. Let's enter Ali. So set name method will be called and get name method. So new name is Ali. Password section. This is the password section. Old password. Get password method will print 0 here, because we haven't provided any password over here in the student program. So we will provide the password now. Let's assume 1111. New password is 1111. So this is how the abstract classes works. Soon we will have a exercise on the abstract classes. So I finished the lecture over here. Thank you so much.